Sup everybody, J Dark A, and today I have something interesting for you guys. There's a certain situation that I'd like to discuss. A situation regarding a certain individual. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyway, there seems to be this meme, among Drunken Peasants fans especially, the whole individual situation, manatee, this thing that everyone keeps going on about, but nobody knows what it means. I mean, if you go back and you comb through all the old episodes of Drunken Peasants, you'll see that no such meme exists. So, what is this manatee we keep hearing about? Sometimes he's called Brett Keane, which, I don't know if you guys remember, but way back in the day, he was a popular YouTube atheist. I think he became a Christian or something, and I don't know, he gained a lot of detractors, over the years, but he's been gone off YouTube for quite a while now. He's never, I know he had connections to Paul Zigo and TJ back in the day, but they don't seem to have spoken. So what is this meme that keeps coming up? The manatee thing, the individual situation manatee, sitting there, Gorn, they say, instead of Gorn, because they do this thing where they pronounce words like on, they pronounce orn, right? Gone, they pronounce gorn. What is that? What is that? I don't get it. So, what I did was I did a bit of investigating, okay? And I learned something very interesting by talking to various people on the internet, reading various Wikipedia pages, reading stuff on the DP wiki, and I've come across some files and some episode, not transcripts, but they have all the information on each episode, right? So I found some of those, and there's evidence that Brett Keane, guy from way back, was actually on the Drunken Peasants sometime in their first year of being a podcast. They had Brett Keane on the show, and this evidence seems to suggest that over a number of years, Brett Keane basically became an antagonist to the Drunken Peasants. So there's all this shit. There's all this shit about Brett Keane, but the guys, obviously, when you bring up Brett Keane, they don't know who the fuck he is. Who is this guy? Who's Brett Keane? Nobody knows. You ask the Drunken Peasants fans, someone will be like, yeah, Brett Keane. Other ones will be like, who? I don't get it. Okay, so what the fuck is going on? I seen, I'm just gonna call them transcripts because I can't think of another word for them, of old episodes where it shows that there was Brett Keane on the show. They were playing Brett Keane's videos. They had him on the show a number of times. They had a huge religion debate. They had tons and tons of YouTube drama between the Drunken Peasants and Brett Keane. But still, none of us know who this Brett Keane person is. So, I did some digging, and I figured it out. I'm really certain I've figured this out. There's a theory, a well-known theory, that every world has infinite parallel universes, okay? There are parallel versions of our world that exist outside of existence itself. basically. So think of this as an alternate timeline. If you want to know about alternate timelines, go watch the first Back to the Future movie, and you'll learn. Okay, so alternate timeline has been created by a change of events. It seems in an alternate universe, this whole Brett Keane thing. Brett Keane didn't just fade into obscurity. Brett Keane became a meme for the Drunken Peasants audience. And people outside the Drunken Peasants audience too. People in the Amazing Atheist audience. There are people, there are people in the atheist community, people in the Christian community. People know who this Brett Keane person is. He's apparently a lying, cheating scammer, which, I mean, he did seem to do a lot of that back in the day, but I just assumed that he was gone, that he, gave it up. And that's what it looked like, that he just had given it up about 3 years ago, just hung his hat. But according to this evidence that I found, it seems that this Brett Keane person, in an alternate universe, actually became a major antagonist of the Drunken Peasants podcast. And that, and here's how I can, I'm going to try and help you understand this. Like, I'm trying to help myself understand this. Because sometimes, the Drunken Peasants will mention Brett Keane. They'll make a joke, they'll make a reference, whatever. And then they'll catch themselves and be like, wait, who? Or one of them will say something about, and the other person, who's this manatee? What you talking about? So what's happening? Well, there's a theory, another theory, that when two parallel universes are very close, okay, they're traveling along a similar path, that sometimes they can crisscross, sometimes they can touch, okay, the two universes, the two alternate, right, they're going along, and then they touch a little bit of information, and that's a theory for how to explain deja vu, okay? That's one of the theories for right, because they're coming along, right? They touch for it, and then they go back on their own, okay? Apart, then they come maybe a little bit, and then they're gone, and then, or they're gorn. I bet none of you got that, because nobody knows who the fuck. Anyway, it's beside the point, okay? The Drunken Peasants are having a sort of deja vu effect. They're being, their minds are like psychically linked to the minds of their counterparts in the alternate universe. And that seems to be what's happening here. Because, and this is crazy, okay? Because we all know, all 300 whatever episodes of the Drunken Peasants, okay? We know them by heart. We love them. We've seen every single one, right? But I've found alternate versions on the internet. They're not easy to come by, but you can find them. Alternate versions of various Drunken Peasants episodes. Other than just these transcripts, okay? I found actual, not a lot of them, just a couple here and there. But then when I put them next to the original ones that we know, they don't make sense, right? So it seems that these two parallel worlds have touched a bit, they've crisscrossed a bit, and then they've split again, right? And now we're at the stage where all that stuff in that alternate universe never happened. But sometimes some of us will remember things about it. It's kind of spooky, actually. I got the idea, actually, from watching the Angry Video Game Nerds, I believe his latest episode, if I'm not mistaken, one of his latest episodes, about the Berenstein Bears, okay? There's an alternate universe, and we've been spelling it wrong all this time. It was a brilliant episode. I'll leave a link to it in the description because it is awesome, and if you're not watching that guy, then you are a fucking moron. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rambling ass. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Piss off.